All right.
There we go.
Got inside the Star Citizen.
Let's see if the audio works.
John turned around to me and told me that we were going to be putting the Bengal into the actual PU. And at first I thought he was just pulling my leg, because I mean, it's the Bengal, the biggest ship that we're ever going to have in the PU, floating around. And I was like, well, what, is it just going to appear and fly away?
It's the best frame rate that ship has ever seen right there. See that FPS?
Little echoey.
Echoey? Echo. Am I echoey still? Is this echoey? Or is the video echoey?
1, 2, 3.
Yes. Am I echoey or is the video echoey?
I am echoey and the video is echoey, but you're not.
Was it just in a poster? And he's like, no. I want it to be like we had the Javelin last year, where it comes in, it shoots, the players can try and fight it, and it flies around. I'm like,
that's good. Okay, now that echoes. It's hit or miss.
fix some of this old legacy.
But I can hear myself clearly on the stream.
Look at that. Looks good. A lot of detail. Big engines.
The whole thing was a single process. So
Now I can't hear anything.
Killing me. You're killing me here.
I got it figured out.
ones just to get it to feel nice and to fly the way we'd expect it to.
How about now?
And after that, we had to then look at the
1,
weapons.
2, 3.
This is the Bengal. It's got over 90 turrets to it that function, that fire, that fight back, that you have to actually deal with. So we went through and we saw that a lot of them were very nose-heavy placement. So we then completely changed the design of the location of the turrets, which went through a couple of iterations to make sure everyone was happy with it. It felt really weird for the entire carrier to have a complete front nose battery. So we moved a lot of the weaponry and a lot of the cover around so that it was evenly distributed around the ship for the missile turrets, the phalanxes. After that was all done, those really small, minor, insignificant tasks, it was then a case of actually having it work, because...
Is this the guy that did that, super awkward voiceover of the last week's show that was basically a 10-minute long ship commercial? So it was odd.
I don't think so.
I think it's the same guy.
Unsurprisingly, when you put the Bengal into the PU, it doesn't run very well because there's a lot of entities. It was a huge performance hit. It was insane. Even internally, we were seeing a massive performance drop. So the next job was to try and optimize this, to actually get it to run in a decent way. If you have a look at any of the AI ships that the pirates use in the PU, there's physically a dude sat in the seat, which at the end of the day costs. Everything has a cost involved with it. So we started to explore a couple of different ways to do it. One route we took was to hide the whole thing behind viz areas, so it just wouldn't render it, wouldn't call it, wouldn't draw any of it, and that gave us a lot of wins. But we also saw it as an opportunity to try and do something we haven't really done on ships before, which was to have actual AI modules controlling the turrets. So we start playing about with that. We hit issues because...
Hold on. Did he say they had AI modules like blades? Did he say they had AI blades, or is it just like your standard run-of-the-mill, like Hammerhead AI?
Blades.
Really? Well, that's interesting. When are we getting blades? Soon, maybe?
Yeah, I think this is the first implementation of actual AI blades for turrets.
They need to give me the blades. All the blades now. Counting on
They-
blades and AI crew for my big ships.
They obviously did a ton of work on this, which then can be used to probably maybe bring blades into the game sooner than later.
Well, here's one thing. Everybody is like, they're just doing all this to, sell money and sell ships. And well, everything they do though has a side effect of like advancing the game forward. They don't just do it arbitrarily. Like they're
Right.
working on blades and all this other stuff. Ship docking and the stuff we want.
They moved all the turrets on the Bengal to all completely different positions because what they had lying around didn't make sense. So
I guess
like
we're just seeing the tier 0 presented in a different way instead of being given to us directly to test. So maybe it's tier something less than 0.
0.8.
0.69.
because we've never tried to implement it on this sort of scale. But after a lot of people doing a lot of hard work and playing about with it and making slight tweaks here and there, we ended up with the AI turret
I want to land on that. Look at that. That looks awesome.
module, which was
Yeah.
a huge performance boost. And I spawned in a load of pirate Idrises to fight the thing. And it was just amazing watching all of the guns pointing in different directions and just fire everywhere. It looked amazing. And then the missiles were coming in, and it was shooting down all the missiles everywhere.
You'd never see that kind of frame rate
just trying
unless
to
you had
hit it with a missile. There's
a
just
totally
that much
sanitized server.
fire that it just
I don't believe it.
It's hard to describe how cool it looks when it's actually firing at a group of people.
Yeah.
The impact of seeing the Bengal working, flying around was just incredible for people. And the Bengal's something I've been working on for quite a long time for Squadron 42. But once it's in the PU, people can fly around it and just take in the sheer size of it. It's just incredibly huge. And having an event like Invictus meant that we push specific tech and specific things in a way that were going to be used later down the line. So that's a step forward towards having...
Hold on. I gotta go back to those engines. What do those engines look like to you?
The blue engines.
They look like freaking engines on the freaking Star Destroyers. Like Star Wars.
Yeah, they do.
Beautiful. Maybe that means, since this is an RSI ship, Polaris is an RSI ship. Polaris Mini Star Destroyer.
So that's a step forward towards having unmanned AI turrets on ships. We learn better ways to optimize the way we actually have AI crew inside the ship, because everything we do can be reused. We learn from it, we improve from it, and it can help everything as a whole. It's a lot of work, and we as developers spend a lot of time focusing on really minor details, and sometimes we just tunnel on little things and think, well, is this time I'm spending on this one little thing really worth it? But then when we see it in the community and seeing how much people love it and how wild they go for it, just seeing their responses to it, it just completely lifts my spirits up every time. So worth it in the end, once we actually got it in. Really, really cool.
Invictus has quickly become one of the major highlights of our year, as well as a fine addition to the Star Citizen experience overall. And the Bengal was just one part of everything that goes into making the event so special each and every year. Now, from looking back, let's look ahead. It's sprint report time, so let's get to it. Starting things off, members of the UI team have completed a sprint porting many of the transit signs found throughout the persistent universe to use a newer and more robust version of our building blocks tech. Now, as with everything that makes this transition, it not only allows for easier swapping of various styles and themes without having to change the underlying information, but it's also far more efficient and less resource intensive, leading to performance gains all over when every little bit helps.
Finally, some different screens for the elevators. That's awesome.
The various interactions players encounter throughout the verse. Meanwhile, the character team is close to completing work on the Grey Cat armor that was revealed alongside the Grey Cat Rock DS earlier this year. Now, while it's designed to specifically support mining operations,
that is pretty cool looking armor, not gonna lie.
Whoever said support roles couldn't look badass obviously never worked for our character team.
It is a very like Halo kind of look to it. But man, look at that backpack.
It does.
Now, which one was that? Which because remember there was like a black and red one, there was a orange one, and then a silver one. Or was that the black? Was it silver and red or black and red? I can't remember. Anyways, that looks pretty sharp, not gonna lie. So there's the yellow one, which the yellow one wasn't for sale, right? Yeah, there was a red and orange, and then this like chrome silver one. So I bet the yellow one is going to be the one that you can actually buy in game, and it's probably the only place you can buy it in game. It's just my thoughts, my theory.
Which I mean, have yellow.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's good to have stuff that's exclusive in game too. Ideally, you know, I don't know if you saw in the monthly report, they worked on the system for like item rewards and the persistence with it. So that's cool. That means we can start getting some rare swag. In-game exclusive loot for, you know, mission rewards or mission chain rewards or something. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. I need another trophy room.
You're gonna need an entire building at a homestead to store all your stuff.
They're really trying to upsell this armor, aren't they?
Props teams
what is
have
this?
recently begun their explorations, developing the various chips and ports necessary to support the upcoming hacking gameplay currently scheduled for Alpha 3.15. Now, while there will be a variety of high and low-tech offerings, these were the conversation starters, if you will, to help us determine which direction visually we wanted to go in. They even created a handy animatic to see how the pieces all fit together, along with a sneak peek at the hacking visual interface that we're going to see a lot more of in ISC next quarter.
So I'm guessing this is the hacking minigame or something.
Yes.
A little more involved than sitting there and clicking the button every, 90 seconds. Interesting.
Now, recently you've seen the current exterior progress of the Aegis Redeemer during Invictus. So let's take a look inside at the continuing work on the interior.
I cannot get over these ugly ass whatever clamshell nutcracker things on the side. If this thing just had normal wings, with maybe like move these guns out to wingtips and put some missiles under pylons, it'd be annoying.
The claw.
But I don't understand what is this? What? No, it doesn't fit with anything else that Aegis has, or any other ships for that matter. Maybe like some alien stuff. Ugh. It's too bad because this thing will be like an absolute beast of firepower if you can crew it or use blades. Because these are size 5s, aren't they? This turret and the top turret. So that's like 4 size 5s. This is a size 4. This is a C788. So there's 2 size 4s that are probably pilot controlled. And I'm guessing this is probably another 3 or 4 nose turret. But that's a heck of a lot of firepower. It better fly like a brick to make up for it. If it doesn't, then this thing will be like completely OP multi-crew combat ship. It's like a miniature Hammerhead. Right? Isn't the Hammerhead? Is the Hammerhead turret guns 5s or 4s? I don't remember. I know the Carrack turrets are 4s.
I do not remember.
That's nuts. That's insane. Probably OP on this.
With a look at gray box progress on the manned turret, remote turret bay, and habitation module. Vehicle teams have also begun looking at the Constellation dash controls as they prepare to convert it to utilize the updated interactive cockpit experience. Now, before
Look, you get a in-flight meal fold-out tray, just like on an airliner. You can eat your torpedo burrito right there.
Before you jump into the comments, the physical buttons you see here are just temporary placeholders, as the intention is still very much for this RSI stalwart to maintain its touchscreen holographic interface whenever possible. In addition to that, the Ares Starfighter, currently on the public
Ooh, here we go.
roadmap scheduled for an Alpha
Where's the
315
gun?
release,
There's no gun.
making its way through the white box phase of our ship pipeline. Now, after recent work on the Mercury Star Runner and the Hercules
It should be
Star
that
Lifter,
big open slot
I have
right
no
there.
doubt this will become another fantastic addition to the Crusader lineup when it arrives towards the end of this year.
I'm very on the fence about my Ares Inferno. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to wait and see how it turns out. But one thing I did the sale at Invictus is I bought a lot of CCUs to option out of it into other stuff should it turn out to not be that great. I think like the last one I got an Apollo upgrade because I don't have any medical ships. So I'm like, well, if it stinks, then I'll get something useful. Either that or go to the Endeavor, because I think the Endeavor is going to turn into a capital ship when it actually comes out in like 10 years. It's going to be like the Starship Enterprise, too, with all the science modules and stuff.
Yeah.
Hangar bays, flying hospitals. It'll be interesting. It'll also probably be the last ship that makes it into the game after it goes live. Just because all the tech required.
And since we're on Crusader, let's take a look at these art images
what is
of the
this?
Crusader shuttle that will whip zoom players around from platform to platform when it arrives in the upcoming Alpha 314.
That is cool. I want one. That is, man, look at that. That's going to be our tram.
Yes.
That
And
is
no-
sweet.
You can't have one.
That's too bad, because that's pretty sweet looking. That would make like a great like taxi service for beacons, you know.
And before you ask, no, you cannot has one. Well, maybe if you ask John Crew really, really nicely, that could change.
Dang it.
one day. Now, I'm absolutely not empowered to say this, but you should ask him anyway, because I really won't. Moving along, last time we took our first look at Orison by
This looks like something straight out of Mass Effect. I don't know, I get Mass Effect vibes from this bar.
night, so let's continue that journey with these images from the lighting team as they continue their work creating an atmosphere
Or
that's
bar
truly
from the
unique
Old
from its
Republic.
daytime.
There were bars in that game?
Yeah.
I don't remember. It's been too long. So here's the map. Right? So Cloudview Center, the spaceport, and Providence Industrial Platform. So it looks like there's 3 sections, and what is this? Stormwall Sanctuary? Oh, there's 2 tram lines, see? Look, there's the blue line, which is probably your main, like, you know, get around town. And then it looks like this is a tour line, Discovery Tour. Huh. Maybe that's where the space whales live. And you go see space whales at the Stormwall Sanctuary.
That sounds about right.
Let's see, spaceport, ship hangars, customs, shopping, Chairman's Club VIP Lounge. Ho-ho!
Oh,
Get your top hats and your monocles ready, boys.
all right.
We're
Awesome.
going to
Let's
party.
go. Finally, something.
Industrial platform, yeah. It's Crusader Discovery Center, Kovlex Shipping, some kind of custom craft shop, Tammy and Sons, something financial, municipal services, Orson Municipal Services, whatever that is. Cloudview Center, Crusader Industries Showroom, so maybe that's where we can buy the ships at.
Companion.
Stratus Shopping Center, Habs are there, the hospital's there, and the TDD's there. Okay. I'm ready. I'm excited. Take me to Cloud City.
I'll just let these images speak for themselves. So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that Invictus is more than just a chance for players to experience our capital ships up close and personal. It's also an opportunity for our developers to push needed technologies to the forefront in ways that will benefit the entire persistent universe going forward. That Grey Cat should feel free to make as many industrially themed armors as they'd like, and that between its stylish ships, the shuttles, and the landing zones, Crusader is fast becoming a fan favorite manufacturer, For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you all next week.
Okay, so clearly I need to buy back my Grey Cat armor that I